So you want to work remotely, the kind of job where you can skip the commute, ditch the dress code, and actually live your life. In this video, I'm breaking down 50 companies. You heard that right, 50 companies that are always hiring, or at least regularly hiring, and worth keeping an eye on. These companies are known for posting remote jobs on job boards again and again, across roles like support and design and tech and marketing. So whether you're just starting out or whether you're looking to level up your remote career, this is your shortcut to the companies that are always in hiring mode. So let's get into it. Okay, let's start out with tech and software as a sales companies. All right, kicking things off with Zapier, the automation wizards of the internet. This company is fully remote and hires from all over the world. What kind of jobs? Think software engineers, customer support, marketing. Basically, if you're good with tools or helping people use them, you're in. And the best part, no degree required. They're all about what you can do, not what paper you have. If you've got experience in tech, awesome. If not, customer support and ops roles are a great way in. Pay ranges, it depends on the role, but it's not stingy. Support starts at around $60K, and tech roles can go deep into the six figures. Zapier is known for its chill, async culture. So if you hate Zoom calls, this might be your dream job. Next up is GitLab. This one's for the developers, DevOps pros, and documentation nerds out there. GitLab runs one of the biggest all-remote teams in the world, and they've literally written the book on remote work. They're hiring engineers, product managers, and even technical writers. Do you need a degree? Nope, but if you've contributed to open source or can show off some real-world skills, that'll grab their attention. Pay is a wild range. Roles can start around $70K and go all the way into the 300s if you're a super senior. All right, you know WordPress. Automatic is the team behind it. They're a remote-first powerhouse hiring engineers, designers, writers, and support folks they call happiness engineers. No joke. They care more about how you think than where you went to school. If you're great at writing, solving problems, or building cool stuff, you could land a spot here. Pay starts around $40K for support roles, but devs and PMs can pull in much, much more. This one's for the time nerds. Toggle makes time tracking and productivity tools, and they've got that slick European work vibe. They're always on the lookout for engineers, marketers, and product folks. No degree required, just show them you're good. Expect to earn anywhere from $35K to $100K plus, depending on the role. Bonus points if you like async work and hate meetings. Have you ever used Todoist? That's Doist. And their whole thing is calm productivity. No hustle culture here. They hire remote first for engineering, content, design, and support. They don't care about your diploma, they care if you get remote work. Customer support gigs start at $60K, but devs earn way more. Plus, they've got a reputation for treating their team like actual humans. Next, Hotjar, the tool that shows companies what users are actually doing on their websites. They hire designers, analysts, engineers, and support people. All remote, all flexible. Don't sweat the degree, but if you got experience with UX, data, or just love solving problems, you're already in a good spot. Pay around $40K for entry-level support and upwards for tech or analytics roles. Social media nerds, listen up. Buffer is your dream team. They help brands manage social media and they're remote OGs. Transparent salaries, strong values, and no micromanaging. Roles range from customer advocacy to marketing and engineering. No degree needed. Just be a good communicator and care about doing solid, honest work. Support starts around $50K. Tech and leadership, you're looking at six figures. Close is a remote sales CRM company, but don't let the sales scare you. They also hire engineers, support folks, and marketers. If you're into startups but hate offices, this is the spot. They love proactive people. If you take initiative, you'll thrive here. Experience matters more than your major. Pay ranges from $45K to $120K plus, depending on the gig. Are you into no code, web design? Then Webflow is a heavy hitter. They hire designers, engineers, marketers, the whole spectrum. They're technically hybrid now, but they still post remote-friendly jobs often. Bring your skills, a portfolio, and some initiative. They'll look at that before they look at your degree. Pay is competitive. Most roles fall between $70K and $150K. And last in this batch, TopDoll. This one's a little different. It's a talent network for freelance developers, designers, and finance pros. You'll go through a screening process, but once you're in, you can land solid contract gigs from big name clients. This one's great for people who want freedom and control over their work. Rates vary a lot, but top earners can make well over six figures freelancing here. So let's move on to the customer support and operations companies. First up in support land, support.com. Yep, the name says it all. They specialize in tech support for home users and businesses, and they've been doing remote work since before it was cool. Roles are mostly customer service and tech support. Do you need a degree? No, not at all, but you do need solid communication skills, some tech know-how, and patience. Pay starts around $14 to $18 an hour depending on the client contract, and it's often US only. Next is Mod Squad. This one's a little funky in a good way. They hire part-time contractors from all over to moderate online communities, help with customer service, or even manage social media for brands. It's flexible, it's remote, and it's a cool entry point into digital work. You don't need a degree, and in many cases, you don't even need prior experience. Just be reliable, have good writing chops, and stay cool under pressure. Pay is usually project-based, but expect anywhere from $12 to $20 an hour. Now let's get healthy. Omada Health is a digital health company that often hires care coordinators, support specialists, and operations folks. Its mission-driven work helps people with chronic conditions, and roles are often remote within the US. Some healthcare or customer service backgrounds help, but they also offer training. Pay usually lands in the $45K to $60K range, depending on the role and your experience. Next is Working Solutions, one of the OG remote call center platforms. They contract with customer service reps to handle phone and chat support across industries, from travel to retail. No degree needed, but you'll need to pass their applicant test and have a quiet workspace. Pay is roughly $15 to $20 per hour, depending on project and call volume. Bonus, you get to choose your own hours. Last up in this group, Concentrix, a giant in the outsourced customer experience space. They regularly hire remote agents for full-time support roles, mostly US-based. It's more corporate than some others, but offers stability, benefits, and internal growth. You don't need a degree, but some customer service experience does help. Pay averages $16 to $18 an hour with training provided. Okay, let's move on to the marketing, content, and product companies. First in this batch, ConvertKit, the email platform for creators. They're remote first and hire across marketing, content, support, and sometimes engineering too. If you've run a blog, written newsletters, or helped creators grow online, you're already their kind of person. No degree needed, just a track record of making cool things happen. Pay ranges from about $60K to over $100K depending on the role. Next is MailerLite, remote first, sleek, and based in Europe, but hiring globally. They bring on marketers, content pros, and support staff on the regular. If you know how to write well, connect with audiences, or support digital tools, you're a fit. Degree? Nope. Writing samples and personality go further here. Expect to earn around $40K to $70K depending on experience and location. Help Scout is where customer support and content collide in the best way. They make software to help support teams thrive, and they hire content marketers, customer success folks, and product thinkers. You've got to love writing, solving problems, and helping people. That's the vibe. No degree required. Pay, transparent, fair, and usually $60K plus, even for support roles. Twine is a creative freelance platform, but they also hire in-house, especially for marketing community and content roles. Perfect for self-starters who know the creative space and like fast-moving environments. You don't need a resume from a fancy agency, just real-world hustle and results. Pay depends on the role, but mid-level content and marketing jobs usually start around $50K. Podia helps creators sell courses and memberships, and they're all about empowering indie entrepreneurs. They hire for writing, content strategy, support, and sometimes growth roles. Fully remote, chill culture. They care more about helping creators than what's on your LinkedIn. No degree needed. The pay range, think $50K to $80K depending on your skill set. This one's a bit off the mainstream. Rebel Mouse is a content and tech platform with a globally distributed team. They hire for engineering and editorial roles, but also touch content strategy, growth, and platform success. They love folks with media or publishing chops, especially if you've worked remotely before. Pay isn't always listed, but expect around $60K to $100K based on the role. Last in this squad, Contentful. It's a powerful content platform used by big brands, and they often hire remotely for product, marketing, and content strategy roles. If you're into CMS tools, storytelling, and helping teams scale content, this is your playground. A degree is optional. What matters? Strategic thinking and experience in content-heavy roles. Pay usually ranges from $70K to $130K, depending on level and location. Okay, let's move on to design and creative companies. All right, if you're a graphic designer looking for steady remote work, Design Pickle should be on your radar. They offer subscription-based design services and are always hiring creatives. Logos, special posts, brand kits, you name it. You don't need a degree, but you do need a solid portfolio and the ability to hit deadlines consistently. Pay usually ranges from $35K to $50K depending on experience, with some bonus incentives if you're super fast. You know Dribbble, it's where designers go to show off. But here's the twist, they're also hiring. From brand designers to product folks to remote marketing creatives, Dribbble is building a platform for creatives by creatives. They're remote friendly and love good aesthetics, so bring your A game. You'll need a strong design portfolio, but no degree required. Pay ranges from $60K into six figures, depending on role and scope. Last in the design trio, Sketchdeck, a design as a service agency that blends freelancers and in-house creatives. They hire remote designers and project managers to work with clients on everything from pitch decks to brand refreshes. It's a little agency, a little tech platform. Ideal if you like variety. Strong visual skills and communication are key. Degree, not necessary. Experience definitely helps. Pay usually falls in the $40K to $70K range, depending on whether you're part-time or full-time. Okay, let's move into the educational tech and learning companies. You probably already know Khan Academy, free learning for the world. But did you know they hire remotely too? They bring on curriculum designers, engineers, support staff, and more, all mission driven and all remote friendly. They care more about your impact than your diploma. If you've worked in education, EdTech, or even just love teaching, you've got a shot. Pay varies by role, but full-time team members usually make anywhere between $60K to $120K plus, depending on experience. Next up, OutSchool, an online platform where kids can take live classes on everything from math to Minecraft. They hire internal roles in ops, product, and support, and they also contract with teachers and facilitators directly. If you're passionate about teaching or helping parents and educators, this is your vibe. You don't need a degree, especially for contract roles, just experience with kids or online education. Pay for internal roles starts around $50K plus, and class facilitators set their own rates. And of course, Duolingo, the green owl we love to ignore. While they're not fully remote, Duolingo often posts hybrid and remote-friendly jobs in education, content, and product. They love folks who care about language, learning, and user experience. A degree helps, but it's not a blocker. Experience in instructional design, localization, or EdTech carries more weight. Pay is strong here. Most remote compatible roles range from $70K to well over $100K. Okay, let's move on to freelance/flexible platforms. First up, Upwork, the big dog in freelance platforms. While most people know it for posting gigs, Upwork also hires for remote internal roles in operations, marketing, trust and safety, and more. If you're organized, strategic, or great at supporting creatives, they might have a spot for you. Full-time benefits and all. Degree, not necessary. Experience in freelance or platform work does help. Salaries range from $60K for support and ops to $120K plus for senior roles. Contra is the slick Gen Z favorite freelance platform where you don't need a resume, just a profile and proof of your work. They also hire internally for growth, community, and engineering roles, all remote and often async. If you've worked with creators, built side projects, or love decentralized work, they'll love you back. Pay varies, but most internal roles land around $50K to $100K depending on your area. Next is Wethos, a platform that helps freelancers build virtual studios, perfect if you work in branding, marketing, or design. They occasionally hire internal too. Think ops, partnerships, or platform management. Experience with client work or running a freelance business is a big plus. They're startup paced, remote first, and mission driven. Pay for internal roles usually falls in the $60K to $90K range. Let's move on to health, wellness, and benefits type companies. First up is CareNet Health. They run 24/7 nurse hotlines and healthcare support centers, all remote. They're always hiring RNs, care coordinators, and support staff, especially if you've got healthcare or call center experience. You'll need a valid license for nursing roles, but for support and scheduling gigs, no degree is required. Pay ranges from $18 to $22 per hour for support and up to $35 to $40 an hour for licensed roles. Simple Practice makes software for therapists, counselors, and health pros, and they hire for roles in product, engineering, support, and customer education. If you've ever helped people use tech tools or worked in healthcare, this could be a great match. They look for experience, not necessarily degrees, especially in support and onboarding roles. Salaries vary, but most roles land between $60K and $120K, depending on the skill set. And then there's Modern Health, a mental health platform for employers offering coaching, therapy, and wellness support. They hire for roles in operations, clinical support, partnerships, and sometimes content or design, all remote friendly. For therapists and coach roles, you'll need proper certification. For others, being organized, empathetic, and proactive is key. Pay, mid to high 5 figures for non-clinical roles and 6 figures plus for licensed therapists. Okay, let's move on to e-commerce and tools type companies. First up is the e-com giant Shopify. They've gone through some hybrid changes lately, but they still post remote jobs across engineering, marketing, support, and design. They look for people who move fast, solve problems, and get things done independently. No degree required, but past experience in startups, retail tech, or e-commerce will give you a serious edge. Pay, strong across the board. Most roles sit between $80K and $150K plus. Next is Printful. They help creators sell custom products like tees, mugs, and posters without managing inventory. They hire for roles in design, operations, tech, and support, often remote or remote friendly. You don't need a degree, but you do need to be comfortable with e-commerce tools and a customer-first mindset. Support and ops roles start around $40K, and tech/design go higher. You want chill, you want focused, you want remote before it was cool, that's Basecamp. This is one on the list that doesn't hire as often as the others, but when they do, it's for high impact roles in design, product, and writing, and they pay well. No degree needed. They want craftsmanship, clear thinking, and autonomy. When a role opens up, expect $100K plus for just about any position, but you gotta bring your A game for this one. Let's move on to data and engineering focused companies. First up, Datadog. They do cloud monitoring and security. Their tools are used by huge companies. They're constantly hiring for back-end engineers, SREs, product managers, and security analysts with plenty of remote options. You'll need experience here. They're not an entry-level shop. Degree, optional. Solid GitHub and job history, required. Pay is excellent. Most tech roles land between $120K and $180K, with senior roles going even higher. Next, Elastic, creators of Elasticsearch and fully remote across much of the globe. They hire for software engineering, search infrastructure, DevOps, and more. They're looking for people who live and breathe distributed systems and open source. You don't need a CS degree, but you'll need experience with search tech or scalable backend systems. Expect $100K plus for most roles, with top tier salaries for experienced engineers. Are you a Linux nerd? You'll love Canonical. They're behind Ubuntu and they run a fully remote global team, hiring for engineers, infrastructure managers, support leads, and even marketing or design. You'll want a good grasp of Linux, cloud, or sysadmin workflows. Degree isn't mandatory. Deep tech knowledge is. Pay ranges from $80K to $150K depending on the role, plus the cool factor of saying, I helped build Ubuntu. Okay, let's move on to agency and product hybrid companies. Starting with X-Team. This one's for the coders who want to work with top tier clients and keep their freedom. They place remote developers with big name companies like Riot Games and Fox, but you're still part of X-Team's internal crew. They love developers who are proactive, communicative, and can manage themselves. Degree? Nah. Experience and code quality matter much more. Pay usually starts around $70K and goes way past $100K depending on your stack and seniority. Next is 10up, a digital agency that builds websites and tools for companies like Microsoft, Politico, and ESPN. They're remote first and hire engineers, designers, strategists, and PMs. They're all about craftsmanship. WordPress pros will feel right at home. No degree needed, but a portfolio or GitHub goes a long way. Pay typically falls between $60K and $120K depending on your role. Last up in this group, Human Made, another remote agency with a focus on WordPress and enterprise publishing. They hire engineers, product managers, and account leads, all remote, all distributed. They love people with strong communication skills, async experience, and a calm, client-ready mindset. Again, no degree required. Experience, open source contributions, and team fit are key. Most roles sit in the $70K to $130K range depending on location and level. Okay, let's move on to the last group, which is global and flexible remote work. Starting off with remote tasks. This one's all about micro tasks. Labeling images, transcribing audio, training AI models. It's open to beginners, no degree required, and you can work from just about anywhere with an internet connection. You'll need to pass some short training modules, but once you're in, you can pick up tasks anytime. Pay varies by task, but expect anywhere from a few cents to a few dollars per task, with fast workers pulling in 100 plus per week. Next is Appen, a global crowd work platform that hires people for part-time remote work like search engine evaluation, transcription, and data annotation. Again, no degree required. just solid internet, good English skills, and the ability to follow instructions. Projects vary in length and complexity. Some are 5-minute tasks, others are months long. Typical pay around $10 to $15 per hour, depending on the project and the region. Clickworker is another micro-task platform. You sign up, complete a few practice tasks, and you start earning. Jobs include writing short texts, data categorization, and surveys. It's easy to get started and great for digital nomads or side hustlers. Pay can be low at first, think $5 to $10 an hour, but if you're fast and selective, you can improve your rate. Looking for real remote customer service work with benefits? Transcom might be your spot. They hire support agents for inbound calls, chat, and tech help, all remote. You'll need a quiet workspace and great communication skills. Some roles are US only, but many are global. No degree needed, and training is paid. Pay averages $15 to $18 an hour, and full-time roles often come with benefits. Lionbridge is a global language service and AI training company. They're always hiring remote workers for transcription, localization, and data projects. They like multilingual folks, but there are plenty of English-only roles too. No degree? Totally fine. Just follow instructions carefully and deliver quality work. Pay ranges from $10 to $20 per hour, depending on role and location. If you've got a sharp eye for detail, TELUS International AI hires remote raters to help improve AI tools. Think search, ads, and chatbots. They have projects in over 50 countries and no degree is required. You'll go through a qualification process, and once approved, you'll work flexible hours. Pay usually falls between $10 and $20 per hour, depending on the country. And finally, Boldly. This one's a bit more premium. They hire remote executive assistants, marketing pros, and project managers to support big name clients. This one, unfortunately, isn't entry level. They want professionals with 7+ years of experience, and they hire as W-2 employees in select countries. If you've got the resume and self-motivation, this is a dream remote job. Pay starts around $24 an hour and goes up based on experience and role. There you go, 50 remote job companies that are always hiring, or at least hiring so often that they're absolutely worth keeping an eye on. If you even found one lead from this video, please drop a like and a comment so that I know I'm on the right track. And let me know also in the comments which companies on this list you're excited about, or if you want a part 2 with even more niches and freelance options. And don't forget to do all those things you're supposed to do to help a channel grow. Also, by the way, YouTube thinks you would really like to watch this video as well. And don't forget that you've got this. A remote life is closer than you think.